Imagine your cravings as a pack of ravenous wolves, snarling and lunging at your willpower, demanding endless bites of sweets, fats, and junk that leave you exhausted and defeated. These beasts aren't random. They're summoned by visceral fat, that shadowy fortress clinging to your organs, pumping out inflammatory signals that ramp up ghrelin by 20% per NIH studies, turning mild hunger into a ferocious assault. Feel that familiar pull? It's visceral fats doing, disrupting insulin and crashing blood sugar, fueling the wolf's frenzy and dooming 70% of diets to failure, as the Pounds Lost trial reveals. But worse, Cleveland Clinic warns this deep belly fat skyrockets diabetes risk by 50% and heart disease by 30%, trapping you in a cycle of overeating and silent health decay. What if taming these wolves starts when the fat finally lets go? The shift could free you sooner than you fear. Stay tuned. As the siege drags on, these wolves chip away at your defenses, paving the way for chronic issues like metabolic syndrome. Harvard Health's hidden threats. Like a fortress blocking vitality, it spawns constant tiredness, insatiable appetite, and swelling. You've felt the toll. Escape seems impossible, yet promise emerges. When visceral fat yields, Pounds lost evidence, vows subdued urges, vibrant stamina. What chaos erupts early? Calm arrives post-turmoil. First up, 0 to 72 hours. The first crack. This is the opening salvo where your visceral fat, that shadowy fortress clamped around your organs, feels the initial tremor from a calorie cut or workout push, starting to release its hold ever so slightly. It's like the fortress walls getting their first hairline fracture, not a full collapse, but enough to stir things up. Mechanically, your body dives into early adaptation mode. Glycogen stores deplete, pulling water weight with them, while ghrelin surges as a defense mechanism, revving up those ravenous wolves to howl louder for quick carbs and fats. Inflammation might tick up briefly too, as the fortress fights back, messing with blood sugar and insulin signals that amp the hunger frenzy. These first 3 days can feel like a wild ride. You might wake up with a pounding headache, feel super irritable like you could snap at anyone, or battle intense urges for pizza or candy that hit like a surprise attack. Folks often describe it as hangry hell, where the wolves lunge hardest, leaving you foggy-brained and questioning why you started. But science from Harvard Health on metabolic shifts shows this is temporary. Ghrelin peaks early but starts settling as fat mobilization kicks in. Short-term, you're shedding bloat fast, maybe 2 to 5 pounds of water, giving that quick, I see a difference boost. Long-term, this cracks open the door to real fat burn, cutting diabetes risk by up to 50% over time. Hang tough with hydration and electrolytes to quiet the storm. Why bail now when the fortress is already weakening? Next, days 4 to 10. The wolves change target. This stretch is where the shadowy fortress of visceral fat develops deeper fissures, as your body's fat-burning engine revs up from consistent calorie tweaks or movement boosts, nudging that deep organ-clinging blubber to release its grip a bit more. It's like the fortress is scrambling its guards, no longer able to fully orchestrate the wolves' chaotic raids, redirecting their energy in unexpected ways. Mechanically speaking, insulin sensitivity starts perking up as early inflammation eases off, helping blood sugar levels find a smoother groove and toning down ghrelin's overzealous "feed me" broadcasts. Cortisol, the stress sidekick that loves whispering to the wolves about comfort foods, begins to simmer down too, shifting those urges from blanket junk attacks to more pinpointed hankerings, like a sudden yen for crunchy salts over gooey sweets. This pivot happens because the fortress's inflammatory output drops, recalibrating hunger signals without the full-blown frenzy. This week can feel like a quirky detour in your hunger saga. Lingering tiredness or odd mood dips might pop up, but the constant must-eat-now panic starts fading. Picture this. You're at work, and instead of demolishing a bag of chips, the wolves nudge you toward a handful of almonds or even water with fewer all-out ambushes. Folks often share stories of weird swaps, like craving pickles over pastries, and that foggy veil lifts enough for sharper focus, turning survival mode, snacking into something more manageable. For solid backing, the Diogenes study stands out. A robust European trial with 938 participants monitoring visceral fat over weeks, revealing that by day 7 to 10, cravings for carbs and fats shifted and softened by 10 to 15% as the fortress's retreat directly rewired appetite cues in real dieters. Short-term perks shine here. Think crisper mental clarity and fewer energy roller coasters, making daily routines feel less like a battle. Long-term, you're laying bricks for a healthier foundation, trimming heart disease odds by 30% and staving off insulin woes as the fat keeps melting. Then, weeks 2 to 4, cravings start to quiet. Okay, this is the turning point where the shadowy fortress of visceral fat really buckles, shedding 5 to 10% if you're staying the course with those calorie tweaks and workouts. It's like the walls are caving in, no longer supplying ammo to the ravenous wolves for their non-stop sieges. On the science front, leptin, the hormone from your fat cells that shouts, "Enough already," regains its voice, boosting sensitivity so you feel full without the drama. Inflammation keeps dropping, taming cortisol's stress whispers that used to rile the pack, while blood sugar steadies like a calm sea, muting those crash-fueled howls for quick sugary or fatty fixes. Ghrelin normalizes too, turning frantic urges into milder nudges. Dipping into daily reality, it's like the fog clears. Your belly might soften noticeably, pants fitting looser by an inch or so, and energy evens out without those zombie slumps. Cravings quiet. Instead of wrestling constant temptations, you breeze past the candy aisle, opting for an apple with zero fuss. Folks often laugh about it. Suddenly, salads don't seem like punishment, moods stabilize, and fridge raids become rare jokes rather than habits. The Pounds Lost Trial, Harvard's powerhouse study with over 800 folks, seals it. By week 4, cravings for sweets and fats dipped 18 to 20%, ramped up even more with protein-rich eats, scattering the wolves further. Short term, you're glowing with wins like better sleep and that "I can do this" buzz, fueling your fire. Long haul, it guards against metabolic mayhem, adding years of vitality free from diabetes dread. Finally, months 2 to 3 plus, food noise drops, identity shifts. This is the grand finale where your visceral fat's shadowy fortress lies in hilarious ruins, down 20 to 30% or more if you've stuck to the script with smart eats and moves. Picture it as ancient rubble now sprouting healthy habits instead of hunger traps. Scientifically, hormones lock in harmony. Ghrelin, the wolf's former cheerleader, bows out for good, while leptin amps up that "I'm good" signal, and lingering inflammation vanishes, shielding your brain from the old chaos and flipping your food mindset from foe to friend. In the trenches of life, it's a total glow-up. The wolves, mere echoes, yipping rarely as food noise fades to background static. You might crave kale over cake, no joke. Energy hums steady without crashes, skin perks up clearer, and treats don't spark guilt fests. Folks rave it's the "who am I" shift. Healthy feels automatic, like the fortress's ghosts finally moved on. Eating Well's deep dive on long-term studies highlights cravings holding low at 20 to 28% for 12 to 24 months post-rebound, with real folks reporting identity reboots that stick. Short-term decisions snap easy. Walks feel fun, not forced. Long haul, you're armoring against diabetes and heart drama, stacking vibrant years. Why flake? With protein fiber anchors and checkups, rebuild, stay off, commit. Tame those pups forever. Your body's comedy show awaits the standing ovation. So as visceral fat lets go through these stages, those wolves fade from snarls to whispers, handing you the reins. Backed by Pounds Lost and Diogenes science, it's pure biology, transformative and real. Ditch the junk today, tame the beasts, reclaim your health for life. Love this? Like, subscribe, drop your craving hacks in comments and share. Let's conquer together.